On a sunny and getting warm, it's a Thursday morning in Northeast Ohio. Welcome on into the bullpen. It's a Bull and Fox edition, as it is every Tuesday and Thursday. Dustin, what's going on, man? What are you doing today? I can't hear you.
Now you can hear me. There
now
you
I
go.
Can hear you,
what
yeah.
I'm doing, I'm fixing my microphone. That's
what you're doing. That's what you're doing. Right
I am. I'm excited. I mean, the sun was out this morning. We're gonna hit the 70s today. I'm playing outdoor tennis this afternoon.
Nice.
I got a lesson this morning. I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling good. I got to take my kid to the doctor here in a minute. But other than that, life's good.
Is he going to the doctor because he's sick or because it's just still with his arm?
He's got like a sore throat, and so mom's a little concerned that maybe he's got strep. So I'm gotta run him down to the pediatrician. But nonetheless, everything else is good, man. How about you?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. Is it spring break for your son?
Last week was spring break. There are some schools that are on spring break this week.
Yeah, my son's on spring break this week. So all right, at least he gets to miss school instead of missing spring break.
I would rather spring break be in April if I was a kid.
Yeah, I don't usually at Rocky River. At Rocky River, it's always the Friday of Good Friday through the following week.
Okay.
So whenever Easter is, that's when it is. Anyway, I'm doing great too, thank you, and a lot to get to today. A couple things. If you missed it, Brian Hoyer, I did a one-on-one with him yesterday, so check that out on YouTube. Starting next week, this podcast is moving to 8:30. Now that the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show is at 10, we thought it would make it a little easier. So Dustin and I will be live every Tuesday and Thursday at 8:30. We'll have Zach. I'll have Zach Jackson on each of the next Mondays. I'm giving you a lot of info. We'll put it back out there. And then Dustin and I will be doing two live draft shows here in the bullpen. We'll be on Thursday night following the conclusion of round one of the draft, which is 2 weeks from today. And then we'll be on Saturday morning at 11 a.m. to recap day two and look ahead to day three. So a lot of fun things coming up, plus the NBA playoffs with the Cavs right around the corner. We got to start there. Cavs sending a message last night. I know the Hawks made a little run at the end, but the Cavs decided they were ready. They're playing, and they beat the Hawks yesterday 122-116. I thought it was an impressive win by the Cavaliers. As I said, the Hawks made a little run at the end, but impressive win, and the Cavs seem unafraid of stealing that 3 seed from the Knicks, potentially only a half game back now. What'd you think?
I thought that what you just said was about to be the exact same thing I said. I was very impressed. I didn't think that they would go into the game with like a sense of urgency or a desire to even win the game. But as we talked about yesterday on UCSS, this is like the first game they've had like pretty much all hands on deck. And so with that being said, I thought it was going to be important for them to come out here and fight and kind of feel out these rotations, see how these guys play together. And it was a very nice start to the game. Got away from them a bit in the second quarter. They were down, I think, 11, ended up being down like 9 or 8 at halftime, and then had a hell of a third quarter where they put up 44 points and took the lead. Yeah, they didn't play that great in the fourth. The Hawks coming back and make it a little bit closer. But nonetheless, I thought it was good that they decided they were going to try to win the game. And here's why: like they could play the Hawks in the postseason. Good chance they play the Hawks in the postseason. Very good chance they play the Hawks in the postseason. You don't let these guys come into your house and get this win.
Yep.
You got all your guys out there, and I thought when the Hawks sort of showed up in the second quarter, I feel like there was a little like a light switch that went off that got flipped.
Yeah.
And the team was like, okay, no, we're not messing around with these fools anymore. We're going to try to take it to them. And they did. And, it was a hell of a run. I thought Harden was impressive. Donovan, again, can get buckets whenever he wants. Mobley was assertive. He had, double-digit rebounds last night, double-digit points. Jared Allen was even more assertive, too, especially there in the second half. Like, I just – overall, I thought it was a good performance. Can't complain. Now, again, you're giving up damn near 70 points in the first half, and Windhorst talked about this on halftime. If you watch the ESPN version of it, and he's like, what are the Cavs going to do about this defense, especially their perimeter defense? This could be a concern in the postseason, and I agree. It absolutely can be a concern.
Yeah. They're going to have to outscore teams. That's how they're going to have to win, which is not easy to do, especially in the postseason. We know that. But I do think you mentioned Evan Mobley. This was against a legit playoff contender. They had no answers for him. 22 and 19 was very impressive. Donovan hasn't been playing great as of late, and he shot the ball extremely well, obviously, yesterday. I mean, to go for 31, 7, and 4 was a pretty impressive game. So, everybody was together. Everybody was playing, and it was an impressive performance. They only used 9 guys, but it was a really good performance overall. I feel like nobody played particularly bad in this game. And the Knicks now play the Celtics tonight. The Knicks do have the tiebreaker, so if the two teams finish tied, the Knicks would be the 3 seed, which is, again, not necessarily a bad thing. But if the Knicks do lose to the Cavs tonight, if the Knicks lose to the Celtics tonight, they'll be tied. But again, the Cavs if you want them to be the 3 seed, they've got to finish with a better record than the Knicks, because the Knicks beat them 2 out of 3 games of this year. So, it's all kind. And by the way, at this point, it's not a short thing that the Cavs are going to play the Hawks, even if they are the 4 seed, because the Raptors are only a half game back of Atlanta, and the Magic and Sixers are only a game back of Atlanta, or the Magic are a game back, the Sixers are a game and a half. So that could, I'm not sure the tiebreakers between Atlanta and Toronto, Atlanta, Orlando, Atlanta, Philly, but those teams are all still in play for the 5, the 6. So at this point, we don't know. Yeah, it seems like the Cavs are going to play the Hawks. We've thought that for a while, but that could definitely change here. Obviously, the Cavs could still be the 3, and there's at least 3, if not 4 teams that could end up as the 5 seed. So nothing's set in stone yet. Again, we know who's making the playoffs, but we don't know what order they're going to be. We know the Pistons are going to be the 1 seed. We know the Celtics are going to be the 2 seed. We know the Heat are going to be the 10 seed, but that's about it. The 3 and 4 can flip, and 5 to anywhere, even 9 maybe. I don't know about 9, but could certainly change places. I want to let you know, folks, you're running out of time for this great deal. Are you getting into the swing of the baseball season yet? Bet Rivers and the Bullpen are giving you a bonus bet to give you a practice swing. Bettors in Ohio can get a $100 bonus bet to use on baseball when they enter the code ATB316 in their Bet Rivers app. That code again is ATB316. If you don't have the app, download it. If you have the app or are about to download the app, make sure you use this code. You got to use it by Sunday. That's the deadline, April 12th. Must be 21 and in Ohio. Eligible players only. Gambling problem, call 1-800-589-9966. We'll get to the Browns later, but speaking of the Guardians, or speaking of baseball, the Guardians win again, Dustin, and defeat the Royals 10-2, a real beatdown to wrap up that series and take 2 of 3. The Guardians, after splitting the first 4 games with the Mariners, have taken 2 out of 3 in 3 straight series against the Dodgers, the Cubs, and the Royals. They'll begin a series with the Braves tomorrow after a day off here today. They have 3 night games in Atlanta, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They're playing the Sunday night baseball game before they go to St. Louis. But an impressive win for the Guardians yesterday. Joey Cantillo pitches great. It was an excellent performance by him. You had a 4-hit game from Angel Martinez.
How about that 8th inning?
It was 5
runs.
Yeah, exactly. It was still a game, 5-2, and the Guardians obviously blew it open in that 5th inning.
I finally won a Guardians bet.
You ended the streak, huh? You didn't jinx them.
What I did was I took them minus 3.5 runs when they were up 5-2, like in the 4th inning or 5th inning.
Yeah, they went up 5-2 in the 5th. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, you know what? I think they're going to score some more.
That's a risky play.
It was very risky. It was plus like 180.
And it wasn't looking good because it was still 5-2 going to the bottom of the 8th.
Dude, I literally won it in the bottom of the 8th.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you go, let's see, to recap the 8th inning, Juan Brito got them going in that inning with a leadoff single. Obviously, the guy made his major league debut 2 days ago, has gotten 3 hits already. And then Austin Hedges has been off to a great start. He won't keep it up and won't play a lot, but It was just base runner after base runner. Brito singled, Hedges singled, Rocchio singled. That got the 6-2 and got you the win as long as the Royals didn't score again, which they didn't. Kwan then walked to load the bases, and then Angel Martinez comes through with the grand slam, which obviously put the game out of reach at 10-2. So a nice performance to get some guys going. Jose with 2 hits. Rhys Hoskins had 3 doubles in this game. Chase DeLauder knocked in 2 runs early. He continues to be great.
Awesome.
Chase DeLauder has 11 ribbies. Let me see where that stands in the majors right now. You know, there's only 3 teams in the American League that have a winning record right now. I know it's early and I'm not making a big thing, but only 3 teams in the American League that have a winning record.
In the American League,
Yeah.
The Yankees.
Yeah, the Yankees, the Guardians, and I can't even think of who the third team is. The Rangers.
Okay.
So the 11 RBIs for Chase DeLauder is tied for 10th most in the league. Again, very early in the season. So Drake Baldwin of the Braves, who we mentioned yesterday on UCSS, has 15. But he's tied for 10th with a few other guys. So he's in the top 15 in RBIs so far this year. And if you look at just the American League, he is tied for 2nd in RBIs in the American League because 9 of the top 10 RBI guys are in the National League right now. So he's been absolutely awesome. And I mentioned Joey Cantillo, who is my breakout player for the Guardians this year. He had a shaky first start. He's been great the last 2. Goes 5 2/3 yesterday. 3 hits, 2 walks, just 1 earned run, and 9 strikeouts. Absolutely tremendous performance. The bullpen with Brogdon, Sabrowski, and Festa don't give up any runs, just 3 base runners in 3 innings plus for those guys. So once again, Dustin, the defense the pitching. Well, the defense was mostly good, although they made a couple errors. But the pitching continues to be great for the Guardians to start the season. You can't ask for a better start considering the schedule they've played at 8-5. You got to be absolutely thrilled as a Guardians fan right now. And like I said, they go on the road. You're playing the Braves, who are okay, the Cardinals, who are off to a decent start, but they are not a good team. And if you look at the pitchers they're going to face in this 6-game road trip, you're only facing one really good pitcher. You're going to face Chris Sale Sunday night. He's going to pitch against the Guardians for the Braves. Outside of that, 5 of the next 6 starters are either unproven, mediocre, or worse for this road trip. So the Guardians, who have faced mostly top, good to excellent pitchers so far, are going to face kind of average or below pitchers outside of Chris Sale for the next week. So it makes a big difference and should help the offense a little bit, which obviously did its job yesterday. But again, they're off to the great start, 8-5 to start the season. I think only the Yankees have a better record in the American League right now. The Yankees have played 2 less games. They're 8-3. So the Guardians, great start. Got to be happy.
Hell of a start.
Yeah. All right. Now, let's wrap it up with little Browns here. Before we do that, though, if you're looking for a betting angle, check out the Top Picks news feed in your BetRivers app. The BetRivers banner news feed is filled with picks from BetRivers network personalities like Dustin and myself and more. Handicappers to give you expert insights. Tap the Top Picks icon in your BetRivers app to get the latest tips. Dustin, how did your pick go the other day? You had a tennis pick.
I did not win it.
I can't win them all.
Fonseca in straight sets. He won the match. It just
he wasn't straight.
He had a little bit of a lull in the second set, but we're gonna bounce back tomorrow, though.
Yeah, I know you got one in that will be out later today for tomorrow. Yep. I hit with the Gavin Williams strikeouts over. I've got another over on strikeouts for another pitcher tonight, not a Guardian because obviously the Guardian's not playing, but keep an eye out for that. I feel really good about this pick as well today. All right, 2 weeks from today, I mentioned at the beginning of the show, the Cleveland Browns and the rest of the NFL will begin the NFL draft. You and I spoke with Matt Miller of ESPN yesterday and talked to him about the draft, and we asked him if he thought the Browns could, just draft Jeremiah Love or go defense, and he thought Love was unlikely, but he was buying into the fact that, especially if Carnell Tate is not there, that the Browns, even though they overwhelmingly need offense, could actually look to draft defense. What do you think about that possibility?
Well, I mean, I think it's certainly in play.
Yeah.
I think the Browns have so many holes and so many needs. And like, we don't have a quarterback yet that we feel really confident in. So I think that also allows them some flexibility, because if they're not going to take a quarterback high,
Yeah.
you're trying to build a roster. Like, and this team's probably not winning much this year, right? So if the best player, like, again, he had it at 24, they were taking a corner. I can't complain about that. If they take a defensive player at 6, I'd be like a little bit like, you sure about that? Like,
Yeah.
need a receiver, need more offensive line help. I could see it at 24, not at 6. I think it's 6.
Yeah.
Well, again, they could trade out of 6 and then all of a sudden have an extra
Right.
first round pick, and then like anything's in play at that point.
I really believe that the best teams, especially when you're to some degree starting over, and let's face it, say what you want, come up with any nonsense in your head, the Browns are starting over. This team was one of the worst teams in football last year. At this point, there's no reason to believe they're a legitimate playoff contender. I don't believe they are in any way, shape, or form. I'm not going to say it's impossible. I'm just saying it's unlikely. And if you're a really good team, maybe you lean towards position of need. If there's a quarterback, obviously that blows. You're going to take a quarterback that you have graded as a 9.5 over a running back you have graded as a 10. And I understand the importance that some positions hold more value than others. But in the end, I think if you're so stuck that I have to draft an offensive lineman or I have to draft a wide receiver, because those are the positions I suck at the most, I think that's how you continue to suck. Now, if they believe Carnell Tate is worthy of the 6th pick and he's just as good, if not better, than the other guys there, then great, draft him. That's fantastic when a need lines up with the talent. But to draft a wide receiver or an offensive lineman, when you think there's a guy at another position, even if it's not an obvious position of need right now, if that guy's much better, if you think one of these defensive players is a generational talent, that he's going to be an all-pro for the next decade, I just don't think you can pass on that. The Browns are too far away. Right? Like, you could say they don't need a linebacker or a defensive lineman now. But by the time the Browns are a legitimate contender, maybe they do. And maybe you took them now, and then in the long run, it's going to pan out because you didn't take the position you needed. You took that you seemed to have needed at the time, but you took the position with the best player. You win with great players, not just, and we always talk about, well, they got to fill a hole. They got to fill a hole. Well, the Browns have tried to fill these holes before, and they didn't get it right. And I don't know that they'll get it right even if they draft Sonny Styles or Caleb Downs or whoever. But you can't go wrong drafting the best player, even if it's not a position of obvious need. That's how I see it. And I feel more convinced about that all the time. If the need and the talent match up, that's the best case scenario. But I'll always take, unless it's paper thin close, I'm always going to take the talent over the need. That's how I feel about it. And I think smart teams do that.
Look, I tend to agree with you, especially if you can get a generational type talent.
Yeah.
Like, when the Browns selected Myles Garrett, there were other guys on the board. I mean, they could have taken a quarterback. They could have done numerous other things. Myles Garrett's don't fall off trees. Like, the dude, and now you can make the argument, what have they won? I get it.
Yeah.
But they're a better football team because they have Myles Garrett, and Myles Garrett's going to the Hall of Fame. Like, you don't pass up on Hall of Famers just because you have a need.
Right.
You understand?
Yes. Yeah, exactly. And I think if the Browns
have had their opportunities, like Myles Garrett, you can say they haven't won even though they have Myles Garrett. Sure. That's valid. But what also is valid is the fact that they fucked up every other draft.
Yes.
They could have gotten it better. Sorry
Pretty
for the language.
much.
Sorry for
I
the
mean,
language.
pretty much. No, they certainly have. That's true. All right, let's get some fan reaction to what we've been talking about today. Last call, 333 is the Bull and Fox emojis. Joe K back, good morning, Bull. Good morning, Fox. Same thing from Larry Foss. Same thing from
Good morning,
Mr. Hawk. The Magic Otter. This may be a hot or bold take, but Tanner Bybee is my fourth starter right now and wouldn't get the ball in the wild card round. It is a hot take right now. I don't agree with that. I mean, obviously, there's three guys pitching better than him right now, but it's a long season. Let's see what it looks like at the end of the year. Maiko Tazak says Mitchell was fired up last night. Yes, he was. He certainly was. Let's see. JG from Space. Cavs are looking tight. Guards are hot. Fun stuff. Mr. Chairman of the Board, how about the guards yesterday afternoon? B. Skrills, I'm late. Good morning, fellas.
good morning.
Beautiful day for Cleveland sports. Yesterday, a lot of a-hole ass-kicking. Yesterday, a whole lot of ass-kicking, not a-hole. Angel Martinez on his way. Knicks and the Cavs are going to finish up with the same record. B. Skrills, that's his prediction. If that's the case, Knicks would be the 3 seed. Mr. Chairman of the Board, Chase DeLauder playing well this far. Hopefully he'll stay healthy. That's a big hopefully. We knock on wood if that matters. Mr. Chairman of the Board, the Red Sox are shit so far. Yes, they are. B. Skrills, Scooble will be a Yankee or Dodger by July. Tigers off to a bad start, but I don't think they're going to trade him. Sammy Hill, Bull, why do you think Jose didn't challenge the called third strike in the 8th inning? I don't think he's challenged a pitch yet. I can't remember if he has challenged a pitch yet. I mean, they were up big by that point. Maybe that was it. I don't know. You know, sometimes it's possible he didn't see the pitch. Maybe he wasn't sure, and he was like, why bother? We're up. They were up so big, it didn't really matter at that point. B. Skrills, I'm pumped for the playoffs. Chairman of the Board, the Browns should focus on the offensive line. JG says draft the best player available. Joe K back. It's very simple. Free agency and day 2 and 3 of the draft are filling holes. Round 1 of the draft is for an impact player. Yes, I agree. All right, thanks everybody for joining us today. Remember, starting next week, 8:30 a.m. for the live podcast. Next week, I'll give you a quick recap, and then you'll forget, but I'm going to tell you anyway. Next week, I'll have Zach Jackson on Monday. Dustin and I live Tuesday at 8:30. And Thursday at 8:30 we'll be live as well. We may have a guest working on a guest for next Wednesday as well. Until next week, I'll be on UCSS today and tomorrow, and we'll talk to you next time. Where else but right here in the bullpen with Bull and Fox. Thanks to the guys for producing today, Levi and Alex. I got it right today. I gave Ernie credit for Alex yesterday. We'll talk to you next time. See you, everybody. Peace.